Welcome to day 46 of our 60 days of basic networking. Okay, so dun sa mga naunang video natin, we kind of have this diagram wherein we have our router connected sa ISP and then we have our internal network devices. Diba? So, kapag ganito yung setup natin na medyo maliit, we can safely say na pwede pa tayong mag-manual configuration eh. Like for example, ima-manual natin yung interface na yun, na-assignan natin ng 9.9.9.1, tapos yung interface niya sa loob, like 10.10.10.1, and then yung mga ibang critical devices, like this, and then we also have couple of end devices here. Kung ganyan lang karami, pwede nating i-manual kahit mag-isa lang yung network administrator or network engineer. Right? So sa mga small office, ganyan yung ginagawa ko dati nung IT support pa ako sa Days Hotel. So, yung iba naming devices doon minamanual namin. Okay? Pero, in real world, in an enterprise level, in CCNA level, hindi natin ginagawa yan. Hey, bakit? Kasi this would be a tedious and not scalable and not practical thing or practice to do. So, what we normally do is we use the concept of DHCP wherein, hey, alisin ko lahat yung pinagsusulat ko, wherein, for example, in this example, we're gonna use our router as the DHCP. So, yung mga end devices mo sa loob, like this one, including the device, the switch that meron ka, kung hindi naman ganun karami, pwede mo silang dynamically ma-assignan or automatically silang makakuha ng IP address dun sa DHCP na ginawa mo or DHCP server na ginawa mo, which this time, let's assume is our router. Okay? So, nagigets yung konsepto. So, basically, instead na manually or mano-mano or isa-isahin mo yung mga devices mo na bigyan or configurean ng IP addresses with the help of DHCP protocol or with the help of with the help of DHCP server, we can automatically have our devices have their own IP addresses. So how does that happen? Yun na nga yung kapangyarihan, yun na nga yung power ng ating DHCP protocol. So basically, isiset lang natin dun sa mga devices na they will automatically obtain an IP. Tapos kailangan tama yung DHCP server nila, usually their gateway, and then automatically makakakuha na sila ng usable IP for their self. Does that make sense? So, for example, yung router natin dito is ginawa natin na DHCP server. Okay? So, sabihin na natin na it's offer the 10.10.10.0/24. Sa loob ha, sa loob. Okay? And then, ang IP niya is from that subnet is sabihin na natin .1. Okay? So, naka-reserve yung .1 para dito sa interface na to. Okay? Ngayon, yung mga usable IP dyan, so remember subnetting, we have 254 usable IP addresses here. So, .1 hanggang .254. Kasi yung .0 is the network address and then .255 is the broadcast address. Remember sa subnetting now, so .1 hanggang .254 yung usable mo. So yung .1 nga, ginamit mo na para sa interface ng router. Ibig sabihin, yung .2 hanggang .254 pwedeng ma-assign sa mga devices mo inside your organization with the help of DHCP server. So kung nakakonfigure sila via automatically obtain na tinatawag, hihingi sila and then bibigyan naman sila ng DHCP server natin. In this example is our router. Ng mga IP address na napapaloob dito sa range na to. Di ba kung matatandaan mo dun sa subnetting natin, may mga questions doon na this IP belongs to this subnet. What is the last usable IP of this subnet? Mga ganon. Di ba? So it almost the same way or konektado siya doon when it comes to DHCP. Okay? Kasi yung mga usable IP addresses, yun yung na-assign dun sa mga devices natin when we implement Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So, paano yung proseso? I'm gonna share with you in this section nga. Okay? So, introduction pa lang yan. Okay? So, in our real world, for example, hindi naman kasi okay, laging sinasabi ko sa mga naunang videos natin, sa mga lessons, in real world, we normally don't use our router as a server. Okay? Probably in a small to medium na company, you can use your router as a server. Pero in large enterprises, hindi natin ginagawa yon. Ginagamit natin yung router natin just to route packets from a source to destination. Kapag ka mga servers or mga servers na we normally put up or build an external server itself, a real server. Diba? So for example, Dell server, HP, ganyan, IBM, yung mga talagang server computer na pwedeng na mag-handle ng mga requests from those clients. Like for example, DHCP. So as you can see, yung ginagamit nating diagram from the start, we have a real network diagram infrastructure here. And then, as you can see here, we have here a server. Diba? So hindi ko gagamitin yung router ko as DHCP kasi nga ang trabaho ng router is mag-route ng packet. So, I put up a local kasi local yan sa site na yan. Local DHCP server. Ibig sabihin yung mga end devices ko dito, naka-automatically obtain sila and then kung kailangan nila ng IP, they will be able to get one from that DHCP server. Sir, paano pang nag-down yan? Okay, nangyayari kasi yan. Nag-down yung local DHCP server namin. Now, we also have a backup DHCP server which is coming from our co-location. So, as we can see here, pwedeng maging DHCP server. No, that's public. Let's say for example, meron pa tayong server dyan, pwede rin maging DHCP server yan. So kapag ka nakikita na sa loob ng site mo na nag-down yung iyong local server, they will automatically go to your co-location to get the IP addresses. Sir, bakit hindi na lang dun natin ilagay? Well, kakain kasi ng bandwidth yan eh. Diba? So ang ginagawa natin, that's why we always have a local server for the site which is synchronizing din naman or synchronized doon sa what you call this colo server natin na tinatawag. Kasi lang, kaya natin ginagawa yon is every time, for example, we put up our DHCP server dun sa colo, every time na yung device mo, let's say you have hundreds of devices dun sa site mo, tapos kukuha siya ng IP doon sa co-location mo na gusto mo dun ilagay yung DHCP server mo, kakain ng traffic yon or bandwidth. Diba? So if you have hundreds of devices in your site that is communicating to your colo server, dadaan ng MPLS mo yun, mag-utilize ka, mag-overutilize ka. Lalo na kapag ka mga busy days natin na tinatawag. So that's why, ang ginagawa namin, meron kaming local server sa site that is synchronizing also to the colo server. Nagsisynchronize siya tuwing weekend or the schedule na isi-set nyo pagka hindi busy yung network. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka nag-fail to, makakakuha pa rin sila doon. Yun yung parang backup DHCP server mo. Pero, pagka okay naman lahat, doon sila kumukuha ng IP sa local DHCP server mo within your site. So, hindi na nagkukos ng high utilization sa traffic mo. Does that make sense? Ibig sabihin ko, okay, kung ang mga end devices mo dito ay naka-auto-obtain, they will automatically get the IP addresses na designated para sa kanila kung saang VLAN sila naka-assign. Remember yung subnet natin is basically equals to VLAN. And then kung ano yung VLAN natin, meron silang katumbas na specific subnet dun sa DHCP server. For example, VLAN 10 mo ay AT&T. Ang AT&T VLAN mo ay 10.10.0/24 doon sa nakaset doon sa DHCP server mo, tapos VLAN 10 yan. Then VLAN 11 mo ay Sprint for example, tapos sa kanya naman ay 10.11.0/24. Yun naman yung makukuha ng mga member or makukuha ng mga end devices mo na umu-obtain or nagre-request or nagdi-discover ng IP addresses from the DHCP server. Diba? So, to solidify this, let me give you an example. By the way guys, you can also visit our official website which is techacademy.ph, and then from there, makikita mo yung mga courses namin. So we have free and premium courses. You can start with the free ones which will give you the same video lessons na nakikita mo dito sa ating 60 days of basic networking. Dinagdagan lang natin yung iba as well as kinurate or inedit natin yung iba para nga mabigyan ka ng at least foundation or fundamentals. Okay, ang kagandahan when you go with techacademy.ph at tinuk mo or kinuha mo yung mga free courses, it comes with certificate of completion kapag natapos mo yung mga courses na yun. So, pwede mo yung gamitin as a reference sa resume mo, lalo na kung ikaw ay nagsisimula pa lang. Again, bctechacademy.ph, and then from there, browse our courses. Okay? See you there. Okay, so right now, you can see my screen. Okay, so I'm using a MacBook right now. And then kapag inopen ko yung settings ko, and then I go to network, and then sa Wi-Fi, tapos advanced. So same lang din sa Windows. Pwede mo puntahan yung network preferences mo. And then I go to TCP/IP. Makikita mo here, I'm using DHCP. Ibig sabihin, itong MacBook na to or itong laptop na to, automatically obtaining an IP address from our gateway or from our router, which is also acting as a DHCP server, a router, a switch, and so on, a firewall. Kasi all-in-one yun pagka yung sa home network, di ba? So ito yung IP ng router namin, and then ito yung subnet. So basically, ang nakukuha ng device ko is 192.168.1.106. Okay? So automatic yan, hindi ko yan nilagay. Pero kung gusto kong ilagay yan, I can do this manually. Okay? Pero dapat dun pa rin siya magre-range. Pagka hindi siya pumasok doon sa subnet na binibigay ng router ko, for example, ang ginawa kong IP dito ay 10.10.10.10. Diba? Mawawala siya dun sa subnet ni router. So, magkakaroon ako ng invalid IP address. So, diba? Dapat ang ilalagay mo kung manual kang mag-IP or manual kang mag-assign ng mga IP addresses sa devices mo is still within the range for that specific subnet or VLAN, if you will. Kaya lang bihira natin ginagawa yun sa enterprise kasi pwede kang magkamali. So that's why we always use automatic obtain or using DHCP. Okay? So yung concept nito is almost the same thing lang din pagdating sa enterprise. Kaya lang hindi naman nga router yung ginagawa nating DHCP server. We set up an external or a real server to handle the DHCP work. Does that make sense? You now understand the basic concept kung paano siya gumagana. Well, in the next video, we're gonna discuss the process kung paano nakakakuha ng IP yung client from the DHCP server. Okay, so paano nyo na-obtain yung IP address from that DHCP server. Pero for now, I hope you get the basic concept, you get the fundamentals, you understand na yung DHCP natin is mostly used for an enterprise level or infrastructure level wherein we have hundreds and thousands of devices. Kasi imagine, kung 10 lang, pwede pa na mag-assign ka manually. Diba? Matatandaan mo kung alin yung mga gamit na, kung alin yung hindi pa, and then pwede mong puntahan yung mga devices na yun and manually assign. Pero if you have hundreds or thousands or even hundreds of thousands of devices, medyo malabo na yun. So that's why we use the DHCP function to dynamically assign or provide IP addresses doon sa mga end devices na yun. And take note kailangan yung mga end devices nyo, katulad ng pinakita ko dito kanina, is basically on the auto-obtain. Diba? So kung makikita mo, sabihin ng using DHCP, auto-obtain yan pagdating dun sa Windows Diba? So, kailangan they are auto-obtain. Kasi for example, nakaset na ng manually, hindi nga yan gagana. Kasi kailangan lagyan mo siya ng IP. Manually, kailangan manual mong lalagyan. And then yung ilalagay mo, for example, dapat ka-network lang din niya. For example, I put here 192.168.1.10. So, pumapasok pa rin siya doon. Makikita nyo, diba? Ito yung subnet niya. Yung 1.10, pasok pa rin yan. Di ba? Gagana pa rin ako kahit ako naka-manual. Kasi yung IP ko pumapasok doon sa subnet na yon or VLAN na yon. Does that make sense? Pero pag gagawin ko siyang 10.10.10, di ba? For example, 10.10.10.1, lalabas na ako or .12. Okay? Lalabas na ako Hindi na ako magiging part ng network na pinoprovide ni router or ng DHCP ko ngayon dito sa bahay. So, ibig sabihin, hindi gagana yung internet connection ko o kaya naman dun sa printer. Nagigets? So, the DHCP provides or the protocol is basically providing the mechanism para yung isiset natin na DHCP server is makapag-provide ng IP address dun sa mga DHCP client. Pero take note na dapat yung client is naka-auto-obtain para makakuha siya ng tamang IP address dun sa DHCP server. Okay? Malinaw tayo doon? Very good. Okay? So, I guess this is it for this introduction lesson or introductory lesson about DHCP. In the next video, we're gonna talk about the process of how a device or a client really getting an IP address from the DHCP server.